of the several technical organizations and given many seminars, served on committees at CTI, ASME, AWPA, and NACE, where he's listed as the corrosion specialist. He has over 60 years experience in the cooling tower industry. Mr. Willett is a graduate of Rice University, holds a BA and BS in chemical engineering. Please help me welcome Mr. Jim Willett.
Well, after hearing that, you know, I look so tired. I've made 18 presentations to this group over 67 years. And at 87 years old, I was going to tell you this is probably my last one. But I understand from the announcement this morning that it is my last one. I think my wife got to the management. She said she started typing, and I'm going to come home and quit it. So I'll keep coming here, but you won't have to listen to me more, so you can thank the board for that. My title of my paper is distribution. You say, well, that our little Reggie, he doesn't know what he's doing. What I'm trying to point out is distribution is at least 3 times more important than any other factor in the thermal performance of a cooling tower. We test cooling towers, as you heard earlier here today, to a 1/10 to 2/10 of a degree and so forth, to see that they meet their performance. Within 5 to 10 years, they're off 10, 15, 20% from that performance, mainly because of distribution. So today, as quickly as I can, I'll give you some ideas what to do on the construction to avoid it, what to do with the towers itself, and then how to find bad distribution, how to fix it and clean it, and how to evenly balance. Because no matter what your water to air ratio, your LOG ratio, if the water and the air both have to be thoroughly mixed and evenly mixed, or you don't get maximum performance. To start out with then, first place where you put your cooling tower. Don't put it next to a dusty road, don't put it next to your coal palm, or anything else that would disturb the air. I even had one in a steel plant, power plant, where the coal belt was going across the top of the tower. You can imagine what that did for the distribution. So avoid that. The next thing is make the basin deep enough, at least 4 or 5 foot, so you can accumulate at least a foot of mud and still stay in operation. Also, put a screen on the sump. The screen has to be a 1/2-inch mesh, stainless steel, and a stainless steel framework. It has to have lift mechanism, preferably electric, if not at least a hand wrench to pull it up. It has to have a cup at the bottom, 6 inches wide, 6 inches deep, to catch the debris as it rolls down the screen when it's being pulled up. You pull the screen, you take it out, you wash it clean, but not on the sump cover and not next to the louvers. You just wash your trash back in the tower. So all cooling towers should have that. And we're talking about a crossflow for a minute. A crossflow cooling tower, the main thing you need is a screen around a flow control box. You take a 1/2-inch mesh stainless steel wire, 10 inches tall, and put it around the perimeter of the flow control box, 1 foot out so you can reach in and clean material. In the back of my paper, which you get copies of out there, if you don't send me your card and send me one, show you the construction of this screen. But it is very important, and I'm writing in all my specifications. As you might figure, I've already got tires inspected and tested, so now I'm just writing specifications and talking to you guys. I had it written in one this last year, and a 20-cell 500 megawatt cooling tower on a 500 megawatt coal-fired unit. And I went out to see the construction material was there, but it wasn't being installed. And I asked the super, he said, the plant manager said, don't put it on because I don't have anybody to clean them. So I ran a little calculation for him, the details in the paper, but we came down to that 10% loss in performance, which is quite common, would cost him $171,000 a year in lost electricity. 20% would cost him about $275,000. Tell me that for $171,000, you can't hire one man who's nothing to do but spend his 40 hours a week keeping the distribution clean. So take into account the money that's involved with these things. I was called out a couple years ago to a steel plant. They were losing 20% of their production because where the liquid steel was poured through a cooling apparatus, it wasn't cooling enough, so as it hit the rollers, they would have 20% blowout where the liquid would blow holes in it. I got there, they had an air conditioning tower on this thing. It had 3 1/8-inch ID on the nozzles, and 90% of them were stopped up with scale from the rollers. So they were losing 20% of their production. We had a power plant. They had 40 acres of cooling towers. I've never seen such a thing in my life. Somebody selling air conditioning towers got to them bad. They had those things spread out all over. They had, coming out of the condenser, they had a half-mile channel between that and the cooling towers, open to the weeds and whatever. They went through the so-called screen, was an iron bar 3 inches on the center. The pipe stopped the two before, and that's about all. And consequently, they had 90% of their nozzles stopped up and was down to half production in the megawatts. They had to finally rectify their idea and put a regular industrial tower in. So it was extremely important to do keep the distribution clean. Now, besides that fence and the cross flow, you also got to be careful about running the distribution behind the short wall. The short wall is the vertical wall between the fan deck and the distribution deck. A lot of people used to run that distribution basin behind that wall, put some rows back there, but you can't get to them. So then you insist on it and put the excess panels in each short wall, and then you can't go in there anyway because the safety won't let you. Because you have to have water flow on full force and you have to have a fan on full force, you'll never be able to survive. So now you can't go back there. So you have 2 rows of nozzles plugged up permanently and you're losing performance there. So don't run distribution basin past the short wall itself. Third thing on the cross flow, you want a standing pipe on the end of the main, 6-inch diameter, stands up as tall as a handrail, so that when they turn on more than one pump at a time, which is very common, they won't blow the end of the header out, etc. Okay, the cross-flow cooling tower. A cross-flow cooling tower, the most important thing, like that screen, the most important thing in a cross-flow is that you run a 2-inch PVC line from the bottom of the header at the far end from the riser, from the bottom of the header all the way down through the fill, where the valve on the bottom of it is a level that the operator can reach in and open it, because all your trash gathers up at the end of the header and it'll start stopping up nozzles in that last lateral and then back and back and back. You open that valve about every 3 months or 2 months and let it run for 15 minutes, blow all the trash out, put a wire basket on the bottom and catch your trash, or else let it go and catch it on the screen. And that will keep your nozzles clean. If you do have trouble, then you have to have caps that are removable on your laterals, or else a valve on the end of each lateral that you can blow it clean. And then also, you need a stand pipe at the end of each main that comes up to above the fan deck level. So that's the main things on construction. Now, how do you find distribution problems? Cross flow tower, if you see it flood down the louvers, you got a problem. That means that you have stopped up nozzles, the water is flowing over the top of the wall and flooding down the louvers, and you're going 20% down the hill right there. So you look for that. Then you go up on top and you look and see how the levels are, if it looks like it's stopped up nozzles or not. And then you walk through the plenum chamber. Here you got to throw the safety gear, but you got to get past them. You got to walk down the plenum chamber walkway and feel the temperature coming out of drift eliminators. You'll find that it's colder near the walls, the cross walls, and hotter in the middle. That means that the perimeter nozzles are plugged up. And when they're plugged up, not only don't you get any water down there, but because the static pressure is less, more air comes through there. So the air comes through by the walls, and there's water in the middle. And you'll find 10-degree difference between the air coming through the Ds near the walls and out in the center. So that's another way to check it. Then the next way is you walk through the basin itself. This is cross-flowing counterflow. You walk through the basin, hands up, and you can feel the hot and cold differences as you walk through the basin. Hot spots, of course, meaning that the nozzles have been blown, or that you're over pumping the tower, and cold spots that they're plugged. So this is important to go with that routine. Now, to spot distribution fallacy in a counterflow tower, watch the water hit the basin. And where it is raining down in the basin, on the surface of the basin water very hard, you've got blown nozzles. If you've got an area which has got very little water falling at all, then you have plugged nozzles. And so that is the main way to find that. And then of course, you go through the basin, hands up, looking for trouble. And the main thing in both cases, you go to the unit itself, and if you see the cold water going to the unit continue to gradually rise, that tells you right there that you have a distribution problem, you gotta do something about it. So now, you don't have enough light up here for me to read my notes, so I'll try to have everything I said. What do you do about it? At crossflow tower, you get up, the man gets down on his knees with a gloved hand and cleans the debris off of that screen I tell you about. That's why I said a foot out of the box, so he has room to clean it out. Then he cuts down on the water flow until it's about an inch deep, and he starts sweeping the deck so he gets the mud and algae, etc., down the nozzle the best he can. And when that's done, he goes through and cleans the nozzles. Now, that's very important how you do it. Favorite method is a broomstick or a piece of rock to punch the holes in the nozzle. That's a lovely way to do it because it knocks the bottom plate off the nozzle, and you cut 6 foot off the height of your tower. Instead of having a 6 cube tower, you got a 5 cube tower because it takes 6 foot of fill to finish spreading that water out. It would have been spread out by the plate on the bottom of the nozzle. And now in your backing paper, I have a picture of the tool that you use. A 1/2 inch steel rod, 3 foot long, with a handle on there on the bottom. You put a plug an 1/8 inch less in diameter than the eye of the nozzle, and up above it, about an inch, inch and a half, you weld a big washer so it can't go any further down. And you can go on and punch it out like this. Otherwise, hands and knees with a glove on, and do it by hand. But you can't get an operator to do either one, so it's better to try to make it more convenient for you. So after that, then you work back to full flow and move on to the next cell. In a counterflow cooling tower, you take the nozzles, the caps off the ends of the first 3 nozzles nearest the end of the header, or open a valve, and let those flush. Then close them and go to the next 3, the next 3, the next 3. Then when we get through, we go back, any nozzle still plugged, either with your gloved hand or with a screwdriver, you get them unplugged where they'll run free again. And again, then you look at the basin and see if you got water coming down all over. Now, after you do this cleaning, you got one more thing that's important, is getting them balanced. If you don't put the same amount of water over every cell, you have a problem. So in a crossflow, you make a stilling well. You take a 10-inch, 12-inch long piece of 6-inch pipe. You cut V-notches in the bottom of it with a welding torch. Then you set it down with the V-notches on the bottom in the distribution basin in the 4 corners. And you take a rule and measure the depth of water in there on all 4. Be sure not to set it over nozzle ports, just over the basin itself. You measure that, and what you do, you open all the valves full open for the full length of the tower. You measure it, and then you'll start cutting down on the ones that have the most flow to force more to the low flow. And remember, those kind of valves, you have to make 2 or 3 turns before they make any real difference in the flow. So you continue to do that back and forth until you get all the depths in all 10 cell tower until all 20 bases within 1 inch of the same depth, because they only have 5 or 6 inches ahead. So it's very important. If one has 3 inches, one has 6 inches, you have quite a bad difference in flow. So you get that flow leveled out, then you record it all on a waterproof piece of paper, and you post that in the head of the stairs where it's shielding protected from rain, so that anybody can get back to the same position. What you post on there is the amount of stem that's shown on the valve. inches from the valve face itself to the end of the stem is where you have set each of these. And it's recorded on a piece of paper, so if they cut it off for cleaning or for maintenance or for any reason, they can take that chart and set the valves back where they belong, which is not even, remember, they won't be even, there'll be difference where they're located. They get back to the same place without having to go through the trouble again. Now, in a counterflow cooling tower, you take a cart that will fit snugly into the ID of the nozzle. Then you drill a hole in it, put a 4-inch piece of copper tubing through the hole, attach tie-down tubing to the copper tubing, bring it up through the trapdoor, through the DEs, through the trapdoor of the fan deck, and tie it off to the top of the handrail. Then do the same thing. This takes 2 men, 1 man on the bottom, 1 man on the top, with a radio between them. Open all the valves full open on the risers, and then from going along and measuring the height of water in each of these tie-down tubing, which tells you it's the same pressure, you'll start closing down on the high ones, leave the low ones full open. Same thing again. This type of valve takes 4 or 5 turns to make any difference at all. So be sure that you keep it going until you get all the heights of those blades on the distribution of those tubes, tie-down tubes, same height. Now sometimes if you have a tower that has maybe 12, 14-foot level chamber, and instead of inches above the deck, it'll be inches below the deck, because it'll be less than a 14-foot head in there. So you're careful to measure that, keep it recorded, the same thing, so you get back to it again. Now on nozzles, we can get down to a 1/2 inch. That's a little small. In a crossflow nozzle, and they go in there on the centers, 1 foot on center, because they only got 6 inches of head. We've had nozzles come in with big nozzle, and they put them 3 foot on the center, and in the center of that nozzle, we got a 1 foot circle that's completely empty, because it won't cover all of the surfaces. So you stick with the smaller nozzles in the crossflow. Now in the counterflow, because it'll have 3 or 4 foot of head against it, you can use a bigger nozzle. They're usually placed 3 foot on center both ways, and you can still get good coverage like that. So, and be careful at least. There was a ceramic nozzle, but not much in use anymore now, with a turbulator in the center, with a little hole in the center. And I found that the paper match across that hole screws this distribution pattern all together, just peaks out the bottom. So if you have that kind of thing, you've got to clean those suckers about every 6 months. You've got to take them all out and clean them and put them back. The main thing is to avoid that type of nozzle. So this is what you want to do to keep it balanced. This is kind of be careful with the kind of nozzles you put in. And if you keep it balanced and proper water treating, be careful. If you're using a hot lime or a cold lime treatment, be sure to keep the pH high enough that it doesn't deposit calcium carbonate into your fill. Be sure you keep the chlorine high enough to keep down any algae growth in the distribution basin or slime growth in the fill. And you can cover your distribution basin with an extension of the fan deck, which will cut down on chlorine usage. But again, you run into safety, because then that's a confined space entry permit, and that means it's never going to get cleaned, because you have to get in a confined space and you have to have a flashlight to try to work. So be careful of that. You don't really want to cover your distribution deck if you're going to try to keep it clean. Not being able to read my notes, I'm not sure what I might have missed, but you can get a copy of the paper. If you don't get one, give me your card and send you one. Then you take care of your water properly, and if you do this, what you got to do is take a copy of this paper, give your maintenance department, and get them to pay attention to it and do what it says to do, as it's to make money. If you do that, you wind up making more electricity, a better steel, more whatever your product is. You're going to do more of it and better by keeping distribution clean, because all this testing is done is pure bull if you lose that in the next 2 or 3 years, and you don't test it again, so you don't know you're losing it until you find out maybe what loss you're going through. So that's it. Keep your distribution clean, make money for your company, and you're all right.
questions, if there's any questions.
Of course, what's wrong? You lost your voice?
All right, if not, you can always submit them to Ask the Expert.
Yeah, come to the seminar, I'll be there too. Thank you.
Thank you. We have about 5 minutes here before our next presentation.